What's going on, y'all? What it is. So let's go ahead and start this off with this dreadful topic. And like my mom used to say about her friends that used to call and keep bugging her about things, I'm about sick of her. And I'm talking about Allison Holker. Because it seems as though that the NDA that she made Twitch's family sign was basically a booby trap. Because Allison put out this statement defending her decision to make Twitch's family sign an NDA, and she made it seem as though that it was based off of the sole fact that she was in fear that somebody could take a picture of Twitch laying there in that state. But come to find out, there was a clause within that same NDA that prevents Twitch's mom and the rest of Twitch's family from profiting off of his name and likeness. And so I guess that Allison is the only one that can do that, and in the same process, she's trying to sully and tarnish this man's legacy, right? Now, Allison is coming across big, bad, and bold here because she even told the family, I dare you to write a book, I dare you to do an interview, and let me find out that you got paid for it. All the proceeds will be mine. Now, the sisters have completely, for the most part, checked out of this whole particular story because they're like, he chose her. Look at who he married. None of our business. We're drinking our water and we're staying out of it, right? So I wanted to get the perspective from someone that looked like Allison, and I want you guys to check out this clip, and then I'll be back.
Well, you guys, it looks like TMZ has seen a copy of the NDA that Allison Holker had Twitch's family sign, and it is not good. Allison, her daughter Wesley, have been on social media talking about the reason they had Twitch's family sign an NDA was to make sure no photos of him leaked to the media, no photos of him, at his funeral leaked. Allison made Twitch's mom sign the NDA, and there isn't anybody that could really convince me that Miss Connie, his mom, would ever do that. Like, I could understand having everybody else sign the NDA, but his mom, I don't really understand that. I don't think she would have to worry about his mom doing that. But TMZ has gotten details from this NDA, and it is not only about photos, you guys. It literally says that if anybody who signs this NDA does an interview, writes a book, does any press, podcast, anything, any program where Steven is talked about, that Allison is the one that will get the proceeds from it, which is crazy. Let's go over this TMZ article really quickly. It says, Allison Holker to Twitch's family, I dare you to write a book about him. Profits will be all mine. That is insane. Twitch's family is furious with Allison Holker for writing a book about him, but his widow took steps to make sure she's the only one who can make money off his name. TMZ obtained the NDA that Twitch's family says Allison had them sign in order to attend his funeral. It essentially financially blocks them from doing what she is doing, namely collecting any money from a memoir about their relationship and his death, which is insanity, because Allison is saying the reason she's doing all this is if she could help one person who's going through what she went through. And I'm like, well, what about his mom? What if she wanted to write a book about a mother and how she's getting through losing her son to that? But Twitch's own mom can't write a book about being Twitch's mom, about her story, because it would obviously have to entail Twitch's story as well. And then Allison would get the proceeds from it. It says, under the NDA, Twitch's family and others who signed it agreed to hand over any proceeds from interviews, books, articles, or programs about him straight into Allison's pockets, which is a pretty strong deterrent. Obviously, his family's not going to want to do an interview, get paid for it, and give her the money, right? Twitch's family has been ripping Allison online for going on a media blitz to promote her new book, pushing back against her claims that Twitch was a drug addict, and blasting her as a money-hungry opportunist. The NDA from the funeral was also a source of family outrage. Allison's oldest daughter, Wesley, is defending the NDA, arguing its purpose was to keep people from photographing Steven's body. Wesley even said that when Twitch was alive, people who attended certain family events would have to sign NDAs, which is a funeral for your loved one is not an event. It's a little different. And I could even see like her having everybody else sign the NDA, but not his mom, not his brother. You know, like there's some family members, it's like you just know they're not going to do that. If you don't think you're going to do it, you got to know they love him enough that they're not going to do it. That may well be true, but the document also positions Allison as the only one to profit off of Twitch's life story. And she's been clear publicly that 100% of the proceeds of the sales of her book will go to Move with Kindness Foundation, which is the foundation that she started. So it goes to her foundation. TMZ obtained an excerpt from Allison's book, This Far, My Story of Love, Loss, and Embracing the Light, in which she explained the reason behind the NDA. Allison says that Stephen Twitch's boss's family wanted a bunch of people that she didn't know to attend the open casket portion of his funeral, but she whittled the number down to 13 people and made it clear that no photographs or videos would be allowed. And I think one way that you can fix that is just have guards there and make sure nobody brings a phone in. She writes, I couldn't risk any photo getting leaked to the press or splashed across social media platforms and becoming the lasting image that people would have of him. My children absolutely, positively could not stumble upon such a photograph at some later date. At the advice of my lawyers, I insisted that everybody who viewed the open casket sign a non-disclosure agreement to protect Stephen's privacy, a requirement that exasperated his family. If we have to sign NDAs, they said, then everybody has to sign an NDA. No problem, I replied. But according to her own daughter, Wesley, that some people pushed back on it, and she was lenient and she didn't make them. So who are those people? I feel like those people are probably more of like Allison's friends that was like, do I really have to? She's like, no, girl, never mind. Sources tell TMZ Allison has not profited from the NDA as no one has breached the agreement. So yeah, you guys, this NDA was not only to make sure no photographs were taken, but also to make sure that nobody else could write a book and profit off of Stephen's story. You guys leave your thoughts in the comment section below. I think this is getting worse by the minute in regards to who she is and how she's treating his family. I don't like it, you guys. Leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. Like, share, subscribe, follow, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.
All right, so you guys just heard and seen all of that. And listen, this really burns me up. It actually has me fired up. But at the end of the day, I think that Twitch's mom, she should contest this NDA and say, hey, listen, we were made to sign this NDA under duress based off of the fact that they didn't know anything about this NDA prior to coming to the funeral. They found out when they got there and they had to sign the NDA to actually get into the funeral to view their loved one's body. And so I think that they have a case there. I think Allison is just being wicked and evil, because when you look at the situation in its totality, Allison purposely put them in a bad predicament. They show up to see their loved one be put to rest, and then you throw this NDA on them, or else they can't see their loved one. So what do you think they're going to do? They're going to sign the NDA to see off their loved one. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure that there were family members that were ready to set it off. They were ready to set it off in that B, but of course they didn't want to do that in front of Twitch and just ruin everything, because I would have had that mentality. But I understand that in that particular time you want to be respectful and professional, but it's just a very, very nasty plot that Allison came up with to really disrespect his family. But anyway, I want to move along because I've been given the green light to actually put this out as it pertains to Kanye West. It seems as though allegedly Kanye West could be facing some charges. So let me say this up front before I put this information out there. The information that I'm about to convey to you all is all alleged. I was not there. I can't prove this to be true or false, okay? Now, let's go ahead and get into this email, because these are some explosive allegations. So it says here, bro, I just got word that Kanye West is secretly trying to sell his $35 million mansion in Beverly Hills, and he happens to be terrified about coming back to the US because he has been contacted by lawyers forewarning him that there are multiple lawsuits that are about to be filed against him by multiple women who claim they were SA'd and R'd by Kanye. It's even a woman claiming to have had a secret child by Kanye when she was just 17, and at this point she is tired of taking hush money because the encounter was not consensual and she felt betrayed by her parents just for the money. In other words, her parents coerced her to go along with it and be quiet. That's why Kanye and his wife jetted to Japan and haven't came back on US soil for quite some time. Kanye told people he was close to that he was afraid to come back to the US because of everything going on with Diddy, but he is starting to resurface now that the election has been certified. Maybe he is expecting a pardon or something from DT if charges are brought against him. And of course, the DT abbreviation stands for Donald Trump. And then it goes on to say Kim has called them out for not being in their children's lives and says she feels alone as a parent, but it's been made very clear that Kanye is evading charges, and that's what's keeping him away from his kids. I reached back out to the woman who claims she had a secret child with Kanye, and I will let you know what she says if she responds. but just know Kanye is trying to gain citizenship somewhere overseas, possibly in a place where there is no extradition agreement with the US. He has also been secretly spending time with Russell Simmons in Bali, along with his wife Bianca. All right, so that's the information that I got as it pertains to Kanye West's situation. I got this information from my plug. I don't think that he would ever send me anything that was just crazy or steer me in the wrong direction. But at the end of the day, I don't know this to be true, like I said, so it is alleged information. I do know that Kanye West was once upon a time a billionaire. Diddy was once upon a time a billionaire. Jay-Z is a billionaire. And I'm starting to think like, yeah, all three of them could be guilty of something, but is there a trend here to take down our own? I'm just keeping it real. You got to ask that question. You got to look at both sides of the spectrum. And we all have to keep in mind that you're innocent until proven guilty. But anyway, I'm gonna let this go right here. I want you guys to drop down in the comments and let me know what you think about everything that I discussed in this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and if you're new here, consider subscribing to the channel. I'll get with you guys later. Peace.